Hey everybody, Octavian here. How you guys doing? So, wanted to bring you all up to speed once again on what I've been up to this league. I know it's been a while since the first one, but this felt like an appropriate time to do one, because as you can see, my currency tab is a little bit vacant as compared to some previous maybe price check episodes you might have seen. And that's because we are no longer in softcore. I have switched on over to hardcore Bestiary League in order to get a fresh start in the league. I'll be perfectly honest, I quite like the Bestiary mechanic, but I really dislike the implementation from GGG. That's a whole nother video though, but basically, figuring out all the beast crafting stuff, muddling my way through that, got me a little bit burnt out in the league a little bit early, and as a remedy to that, I decided to try and restart in hardcore. And it's been a lot of fun, actually. It's breathed a lot of life back into the league for me, so I've been really enjoying it. I've been playing a Dark Pact Totem Scion build, which is a build that I've done as a league starter in the past back in Abyss. It was very powerful then, it's still quite powerful now. It's a great league starter. I have pretty junk gear, Calm's Roots, Soul Mantle, and 2 Kikazaras. I was about to say are the only uniques. Bright Beacon there too. But as far as the core uniques, you just need the 2 Kikazaras and the Soul Mantle and you're good to go. Dark Pact is incredibly good with Soul Mantle because that 50% totem life becomes damage. You get, of course, Spell Totem for free, so a 5-link is basically a 6-link. You get 1 additional totem, which is great. And, of course, the Curse Yourself effect actually turns into damage rather nicely for you because you go with a Self-Flagellation in this combo, which I was lucky enough to pick up a fairly well-rolled one for only a Chaos. I mean, that is kind of the benefit of joining the league rather late. Things like this are quite cheap. Soul Mantle was a Chaos. Kikazaras were, surprisingly enough, actually 2 Chaos each, which usually they're like in Alk, but it's probably just people looking to try and make, what's the name of it? Lore Weave. That's upping the price on these. But yeah, it was fairly easy to acquire my core gear. I did get a bit lucky and I had an Exalt drop during the leveling process, so that pretty much funded everything I'm currently wearing, and I still have something left over from that even. So we're going to be upgrading some gear as I get some more drops, as I get some more loot. We've made it a bit into white maps here. As you can see, I've got 25 completion on the Atlas so far, pushing all 4 corners at once. Haven't done too much over here, actually. We could probably stand to do a bit. And I will demonstrate the builds for you guys in a low-tier map here. We'll just do a beach, actually, because that is right next to one of the maps that I need. And we're going to do a nice, safe beach map, because it would be a damn shame if I died on this character off-stream. So let's just go ahead and run that. Defensively, the character is 100% curse immune because I do have 2 Kikazaras, which give 40% reduced effective curses each, and the Guardian Sub-Ascendancy, which is 25%. As I've answered many times on stream, I know Hierophant gives me an additional totem, as well as Arcane Surge and Mind Over Matter effectiveness. I specifically, for 2 reasons, I chose Guardian. I did not want to go Mind Over Matter. I didn't want to have to invest enough into mana to make it comfortable for hardcore. I feel like that's more investment than is worth it. Not necessarily. Mind Over Matter is a great option to go with this build, for sure. I just didn't want to go that route, and going Hierophant kind of forces you to, because you, whether or not you want to, you get 10% of damage taken from mana before life, so you have a mini Mind Over Matter effect anyways. And I wanted to be completely curse immune because I plan on reaching and running Putrid Cloister with this build. It seems to me that judging the value of divination cards, the ratio of exalts to chaos across both hardcore and softcore, Putrid Cloister is far more worth running in hardcore than it is in softcore, and I want to see if I can turn a profit doing so. It is, of course, a bit of a gamble, Putrid Cloister always is, but it's a far more favorable one with the pricing in hardcore for both the map itself and for div cards. And as I hear some sea witches in the background, let's not die to these things. But yeah, it's a fairly safe build. Guardian as well gives me increased aura effect, which right now I'm really only using on a haste, but I may very well switch over to some purities, as well as some free physical mitigation and a lot of free regen every now and again whenever that happens to go off. I don't know if that was a red beast or a yellow beast. Either way. We get a lot of free damage, as I said, out of Soul Mantle, so I've not really invested in damage too much so far in the tree or in gear. I've hit a few crit wheels, that's about it. It's actually what I'm pushing right now, trying to fill out my crit a little bit so it feels a bit better. And I've gone for the Assassin sub-ascendancy, really for lack of a better option. I considered Occultist as well to go second Curse, but the number of passive points that going Shadow saves me as my secondary ascendancy is pretty crazy. It's like 7 or 8 points saved, since I want to get over to the Shadow area anyway, because it's just crazy good. So really it's just Assassin is the least bad of the Shadow options for me. I briefly considered Saboteur because you get 30% AoE, but the rest of it is useless. 1% base crit is fine. Some power charge gen is also fine, though I do only gen the power charge when I crit, so I have to like land shield charge crits to gen them, but they're up like 50% of the time right now, and the more crit I get, the more reliable that'll be. So it's not horrible. It's just not ideal. And if I can get the build like high enough level to, you know, 93, 94 or something like that, I may very well consider switching over to Occultist and maybe going with a more curse-focused bent, or even something else. I'm really not sure what. But yeah, Guardian is definitely going to be sticking around as one of my choices because specifically of what I want to do with the build. Pure Hierophant, like non-Scion, just Hierophant, and Scion Sub-Ascendancy Hierophant are both great options. I have had a lot of people asking me why I'm not going for it, so I figured I would nip that in the bud. And it's been a lot of fun, so if you want to tune in and see my inevitable rip, I am streaming from 2 p.m. until 10 p.m. most days, Monday through Saturday, 2 p.m. until 7 p.m. on Sundays, and I hope to see you there. Let's see, am I finishing the map just as I'm finishing my spiel? No, there's a strongbox. It ruined everything. And I should be pushing up through yellow maps and into red maps over the next 2 to 3 days. We'll see. We'll see what sort of upgrades I can get. I want to switch off the Bright Beak eventually and onto a better dagger, but that probably will require, you know, maybe some Insanity Gloves if I can get my greasy mitts on those. Should have swapped a Conk effect for this guy, but it's okay. He's going to be dead soon anyway. There we go. Nice and easy. And a pleasant leveling process as well. You can basically play the build from level 49. That's when you can equip the Soul Mantle and the 2 Kikizarus. The Kikizarus are earlier than that, but it's not really worth wearing them until you have the Soul Mantle. And up until then, I just played as Blade Vortex because I'm scaling area damage, crit, and spell damage, so it just kind of made sense. Could also have leveled as Firestorm, but I find Blade Vortex to be more entertaining. So yeah, I hope to see you guys at the stream. I hope you enjoyed this short little overview of what I've been doing this league, and I hope you all have a great night.